You got that?
Who
Okay. Good job.
is it? Yeah. Who is that? Is that you? Say, hey world. Hey world, my dad has some great news. All right, guys, let me know if you can hear me. Um, and we'll get started with the great news coming up. Papa Mikwari, Papa Mikwari, Bale, Bale. Say hi. Say hi. She just woke up, guys, so that's what it is. She's a little tired. Say hey. Hey. Inchie. Choi. Choi. Say hi, world. Say hi. Say great times are coming ahead. Great money making opportunity is coming. Say hi. Great making opportunity is coming, right? Say hi, world. It's time to make some money. Hey, gang, this is Mike with my real estate dojo and Mr. No Fluff. This is my daughter, Alchemy. And I want to just bring to you right now what's happening in the market. Okay. Um, Now, I want to talk about gold. I want to talk about Bitcoin, and I want to talk about the slowdown of real estate investing. But more importantly, I want to talk about the biggest scam ever, right? Can you wave to people? What is the biggest scam ever? Okay. The biggest scam ever is that you and I are working for our dreams and material things. Okay. Mostly for material things, like we want a car, we want a house, we want to live a certain way. However, the Federal Reserve, which is not part of the government, the central bankers, they're printing money through a printing press. Like they're pushing it down, actually clicking a button, and it's an automatic, and it's just printing money like this, okay? Right? And you and I and everyone else around the world are working for it. So we're working for our life away, okay, while they're printing money. One great example is my dad. He comes to America as a refugee, works very hard, has great amount of success, even though he doesn't have a high school education or college education. He's illiterate, but America is a great country where you can come here and make moves and improve yourself. Okay. However, that said, if you look at a bird, they're able to build their home in a couple of days. If you look at a squirrel, they're able to build a home. But humans, it takes 30 years to build your home to get it paid off if you don't move. Yes, honey? Say hi, people. Right? So it takes at least 30 years for most people in America to pay off their mortgages. Why does it take so long? Okay. Another question I have is why did in the 1970s to buy a house, average home, cost $24,000? The same home today will cost $240,000. Well, that's the biggest scam ever, which is these guys are printing money while you and your cousin, your dad, and my dad and yourself are working for it. Now, many of us also have the disease of cancer of consumption where we want more and more. Yes? Yes, sweetie. Say hi, people. If you're tired, you can go to mom. So, anyways, we have a disease of consumption. No matter if we're driving a Mercedes, now we want to drive a Bentley. If we're driving a Bentley, now we want to drive a Ferrari. It's a constant consumption. Let's use my poor dad example because he's in the hospital right now having surgery after, in the past month and 6 weeks, he's been in the hospital 3 or 4 times. But to explain to you guys is that you can constantly chase something, material things, over and over, and your life can go away, right? And then end of the day, those material things don't mean anything. Yes, honey? Yes. Okay, you go ahead and talk to mom. She's over there. Go over there and talk to mom. She's gonna take care of you. All right. So what do I mean? Like you were born naked. You were born naked. Okay, and you're gonna die naked. Okay. So what does that mean? That all the stuff you're chasing around is just an illusion. these bankers and big corporation, they're putting an illusion over your head where you're actually the ultimate richness. You're alive, you got your arms and legs, right? You're breathing, and you got your friends, you got your family, whatever you got, right? No matter how small it is, how big it is, you're already ultimate rich. But they have it through programming, through the media, through TV shows, to marketing, that you're not enough, that you have to have that certain kind of car, you have to have a certain kind of smell, you have to have some certain kind of abs, you have to have a certain kind of shape, lipstick, perfume, etc. You're never enough. And so the biggest scam is to make you think that it takes you 30 years to pay off your home, where a bird can build their home in a couple of days. A rat can build their homes in a couple of days. A fish, a snake, whatever, they can build their shelter themselves very quickly. But humans, the most intelligent, supposedly, stuff out here, can't. Takes 30 years. We have to go work in a little office, push on a computer to get a house built. Now, my dad was one of the lucky guys because he paid off his house, but I'm trying to illustrate to you guys that if you're constantly working to get a newer model or constantly working to get more and more, you may miss life. What does that mean? That you're working all the time and you're not spending time with your kids, that you're working all the time and you're not going and traveling or seeing stuff, or you're not working out, or you're not doing stuff that you love to do, like play musical instruments, write a book, whatever you like to do. Okay. So the biggest scam ever in this economy of collapse is that there's been a human collapse. For many years now, the middle class and the poor people are getting poor and poor, and the rich are getting richer and rich. 1% owns 99% almost, right? And the whole system has been programmed to brainwash us, thinking you're not enough, because if you're making 10 grand a month, you want to make 20 grand a month. If you're making $7, you want to make $20, and so on. And whenever you get there, it's never enough. And that's why I give away all my stuff and decided to go homeless myself for 2 years, just like Buddha and Jesus did, is because I realized I had a consumption cancer, that I had a disease that I wanted to be higher than other people. And when I had more, then I felt good, because some people were below me. And I don't want to live like that anymore. And so the biggest scam is these bankers, big corporations, the news companies, the marketing companies, making you think like you don't have the greatest life already, which you already do. Like if you live in a free country like America, Canada, Great Britain, many of these countries, you have everything already. Okay. Now, you're conditioned through the school system. They strip you, thinking that you're not enough. Your brain is not powerful enough. You need some kind of credit score, or your brain is not powerful enough that you need some kind of material. You need another material. You constantly need more things, more consumption. Really, you don't need any of that because you already have everything. Okay. And that's the power of Mr. No Fluff, is that I want to explain to you guys that you can materialize things right out of your brain. Just boom, right there. Because everything you look around was someone's thoughts, vibrations in their brain, electrical impulses that turn to material things. So you have the power into you. So the greatest scam is bankers, big corporations telling you that you need some kind of credit, that you need some kind of fake paper, fiat dollars, that you need some kind of, college degree, that you need something to be whoever you were meant to be. And always remember that you were born naked and you're going to vanish naked. And all the other things that you have around you don't mean a damn thing. Because right now, as my dad's having surgery, I doubt that he cares that he has this iPad laying around here. He has the newest iPad right here, okay? But he's right now having surgery. I don't think he cares about this anymore, okay? I don't know. Maybe he will, but I don't think so, right? Because he didn't even take his phone with, his watch with him, because whenever you class and they got to take you to get an emergency, you don't care about these things. Okay, what you're probably thinking about is, was I my dreams? Was I my dreams, right? And that's why I encourage all of you guys. That's why I created this channel, is because I was so tired of people discouraging everyone, right? Everyone's just trying to pull everyone down versus people helping each other out. And that's why I started doing this since 2013. I know it doesn't have as great subscriptions. We have like 10,000 subscribers versus some of the other guys, but people like following sheets. People don't want to follow things that are painful to them, but it's going to help them change, because our ego doesn't allow it. Okay. So a good argument that Aristotle made was that, Socrates, I believe, made, was that someone selling you candy, you're gonna love him, but you're not gonna love the guy that is the doctor and he has to do all the painful procedures, because the candy you consume, the debt you consume, now it's gonna hurt. That's now you have major diseases like high blood pressure or high cholesterol or diabetes or etc. So the point of the story is that don't get scammed. Know what you want out of life, and you're more powerful. Okay, now let's go into gold. Okay, guys, gold in what was it, 2015, the end of 2015, the beginning of 2016 was 1125. Today is 1326. Okay, guys, it's going up, right? Now, stocks are also going up, right? But in my opinion, that's just propped up because we're having significant turbulence left and right, but stocks are constantly going up. And one of the reasons is big corporations are borrowing fake money from the master of men, and they're able to buy their stocks back because they got so much tax benefits thanks to the new tax cuts and easy debt borrowing. All right. So what's happening with Bitcoin? Okay, Bitcoin for the past months, it's been sitting at 3,500, a little bit up, a little bit down. Today, overnight almost, it's gone up to almost $4,000. Okay, very close to it. Now, I am definitely big on Bitcoin. I'm definitely big on gold. I think that cash in the bank, it just, for suckers, you got to have that cash work for you in hard assets like rental properties. Now, talking about rental, what's going on with real estate? Now, you can see in the newspapers, they're starting to come out a little bit. Like there's a slowdown from many places all over America. Now, it's hard to just forecast everywhere because there's pockets that are still very good, but there's a lot of pockets that are already starting to see high DOM, days on market. Okay, we're seeing price drops. We're seeing that people are holding the properties and having multiple price changes. Okay, now what I'm noticing is my students. All right, these are students that are in my mastermind called the Abundance Club, and they're hitting the streets. They're using what's called my Flipping Wednesdays, and they're generating free leads. And what I'm seeing from them is they're now getting more and more motivated sellers, like people that try to sell with a real estate agent that it couldn't, or people that are already getting scared that the market's going to crash and they're trying to sell, or, so I'm starting to see a lot of more symptoms of motivated sellers. Now, what is a motivated seller? Someone that must sell. Okay. Now, there's two classes of motivated sellers. You have financial motivation and you have emotional motivation. Financial motivation could be I'm behind in payments. Financial motivation can be that, hey, we got married and now we got 2 homes and 1 house we can't make the payments on. Financial motivation can be, hey, I lost my job. Now, emotional motivation, usually the people that I like to deal with or have emotional motivation, but they're financially doing really good. That's why they have equity. Okay. But they have an emotional motivation. Like emotional motivation might be like, hey, someone dies in your family. Emotional motivation might be, hey, you get divorced. Now, as a real estate investor, I buy from motivated sellers, and I have been motivated myself. For example, when I decided to give all my stuff up and go homeless, I decided to sell my stuff as fast as possible for pennies on the dollar. The real estate, the other stuff, I just give it to the homeless people. So, for example, I sold a house that I owe for like $120,000 below the market because I wanted to sell it really fast. Okay, so the investor that bought it for me, he was able to put $120,000 in his pocket. But the thing was that he paid for all my closing and there was no inspection, and he basically did the way I wanted it to be done, which is fast closing. So there's nothing wrong with being motivated, because that's life. Sometimes we're up, sometimes we're down. And that's the story of life. It's a pendulum. Okay. And if you don't understand that, then you're going to have to understand it. Okay. That's why when life was so good for me, I had 3 businesses, I had rental homes, I didn't have any debt. I didn't have any credit cards. I had a lot of money in the bank. Okay, I wasn't having enjoyment. I wasn't having. I don't want to say I wasn't having happiness, because every time I bought something material, I kind of got happy for that short period of time, but it wasn't a long period. So I could easily get happy by buying stuff, but I didn't want that because it wore off. So I didn't have fulfillment, even though I owned multiple businesses. I was very, very young. I had no credit card debt, no business debt. And I was doing really, really good. I just felt like life, there was something more out of life. So when I give all my stuff up, I realized that what is the meaning of life? Like, for example, just holding my kid and just dancing with her in the mornings or in the afternoons. Every time she sees me, she says, let's do nanai, which means in American, let's do some dancing, right? She's like 1 year old and she's asking me to dance. So when I hold her and we dance, I mean, I feel good. Not good. I feel alive. I feel like $1,000,000, right? Or when I take it to the park, I try to take it to the park every day when it's warm. But if it's cold, it's winter season now. So when it warms up, I'll always try to take it to the park and spend time with her, because that's the most important thing. When I had material things, I probably wouldn't spend a lot of time with her, because I would think, hey, you know what? I want to open a new location. Hey, you know what? I want to get another rental house. Hey, you know what? I got to do an eviction. And all these things. Now, are those things important? I don't want to tell you if it's important for you or not. You could decide, okay? But for me, I realized that, like, right now, my dad's in the hospital. He's having surgery for 6 weeks. He's been in the hospital, in and out, etc. That I don't think he's thinking about his iPhone or his business. I just don't think so, okay? I'll probably think about, hey, did I spend enough time with my kid? Hey, did I do this? But I don't know. But for me, I don't want to be on my deathbed and thinking about that kind of stuff. Like, hey, was I able to be my dreams? Damn, I wish I would have quit that job and started that business. I wish I could have been this. I wish I could have wrote a book. I wish I would have spent time with my kid. I don't want those regrets, because when I die, I just want to be on, as they say, on empty in America, but it's not on empty. I want to be able to give everyone as much as I can, with my candle, light it up till I melt away. So there's a lot of people that have a lot of material things, right? But what you don't see is how much debt they have, right? And how many hours they're working. So my idea, my seed for you is to think about, are you working a lot? I mean, you probably already have so much wealth, you don't even realize it. Majority of people in America have so much wealth. Like, you have so much clothes, you have so much extra stuff. I mean, you have all these extra, okay? Well, what I call obesity, right? Gluttony. From your food intake to the amount of hours you get to sleep to the comfort of your bed, right? We have so much, right? But we still want more and more and more and more. Just a constant disease. If you can just sit, no TV, no news, nothing, just sit for 15 minutes. Many people can't even do that, right? They can't just sit, close their eyes, and not do anything. I'm not saying pray or anything, like just sit, because their brain is constantly going like this, right? How do I do this? What are my worries, right? And why is it going like this? Because all this propaganda from TV, from schools, from marketing, always telling you you're not enough, you're this, you need this lifestyle, you need a certain way of clothes, you need to smell a certain way, always feeding you insufficiencies, right? And that's why people can't even sit still, because they got to feel like they got to do something, right? And I think for the meaning of life for me is just to be able to sit still and be extremely happy, right? That's it, right? Right now, my dad's having surgery, but I'm helping you guys out. I'm before I would be all crying, blah, blah, blah. And now do I feel like this and like this? Yes. But I'm not going to attach myself to that, okay? Same thing with when I let go of all my stuff. Sometimes I think, I'm like, man, I was a dumb dude for letting go of all my stuff. Sometimes I feel like that, right? But then I realize that, hey, that's just my mind thinking, because there's something else inside of me called my soul, right? And that's not thinking that, right? And my soul is what I follow. That's why I was able to follow my heart and follow my soul right out of college, live in my car with $100 and turn into a moving company, which I owned for 14, 15 years. I didn't do that to my brain. I did that to my soul, right? To my heart, right? Same thing when I got into real estate 2006 in the fourth quarter when the market starting to crash. I didn't know anything about real estate. My dad sold ice cream in an ice cream truck, and my mom cut hair. I didn't know anything about real estate. My uncle wasn't, I don't know anybody here. We're refugees, right? So when I got into it, it wasn't my brain, because my brain says, hey, Mike, you don't know shit about real estate. Hey, Mike, you can't spell. Hey, Mike, you can't read. All these thoughts that's been propaganda to me through school systems, to all these deficiency marketing tactics, right? But I didn't listen to that. I just listened to my heart. And so where I come with start where you stand means that you just got to start right there, dude. It doesn't matter, what you got. You just got to start. And Guess what? I started, before I knew it, I had a lot of rental houses. Before I knew it, I had a brokerage firm and I had people older than my grandparents, which I've never met, work for me, right? And I could never imagine that if I listened to my brain. So I kind of don't listen to my brain anymore. It sometimes thinks. My job is to have it stop thinking or slow it down. I don't want it to be thinking about my problems or my this or my that. I just want to be here right now with wherever I am. If I'm with you, I want to be with you. If I'm here with my kid, I want to be with my kid. I don't want to be somewhere else, right? And to me, that's the most richest, right? So I think that every one of you guys are already ultimately rich. You got your brain. I mean, you live in a free country. Most of you guys have. Most of you guys have a place to sleep. Most of you guys more than one shoes. And I think you have everything you need. But you allow all this noise to tell you you're not enough. You're not pretty enough. You're not handsome enough. You don't have enough property. Some of you guys might have 10 properties and you think, hey, I need 20. Some of you guys have 5 apartment complexes, but you need 100. Some of you guys have 300 units and you need 600. So see, that's, and some of you guys don't have anything and you're trying to make it. I'm letting you know that my channel, MrNoFlip.com, is all for free. 99% of it's free. I make money off of 1% at the max. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Hustle and bustle. Remember, the market is about to crash. There's going to be great opportunities out there. You can start businesses and make money. What kind of business can you start? Guess what? If you're a real estate agent, you might want to learn how to do loan modification. You might want to learn how to do short sales, right? You might want to learn how to do credit repair if you're some other person. You might want to get into the moving business. Why moving business? All these people with big houses, once the market changes and they lose their jobs, they're going to need to move, right? And they're not looking to pay these big van lines, right? Because van lines cost a lot of money. How do I know? I've been in the business of transportation for 14, 15 years. Right? They're looking for cheap moving companies, right? So it could be a great opportunity. If you're a real estate investor, you want to be a landlord, great. Instead of going to a bank and say, please can I borrow some money? What am I going to do? I'm going to market to these motivated sellers like I did in the last crash. I'm going to find, last crash, I bought from firefighters. I bought from teachers. I bought from city workers. I bought their homes. Someone were going through divorce, someone were behind in payments, someone couldn't afford it anymore. And I said, look, let me stop the foreclosure for you. Let me create a win-win situation, okay? And at the same time, I created a win situation for me. And this coming crash, there's gonna be a lot of these stories and creates a great opportunity where you can go and pick up some of these properties, just take over people's payments. And if they don't have a payment, you can buy it for cash at a deep discount, or you could create some kind of seller financing. And if they have a mortgage, you could just take over their payments. If they have a mortgage and has negative equity, then you could do loan mods, you can do short sales. But more importantly, there's investors out there just like me. I'll buy a negative equity property as long as it cash flows. What do I mean? In the past 10 years, ladies and gentlemen, they're giving ultra low interest rates for mortgages, almost zero. So if there's a house that has negative equity, but the interest rate is 2 or 3%, guess what? It's a massive cash cow. Because when you look at the rental comps in that area, more than likely, up 90%, more than likely, that rents are high up in that area, but that guy's mortgage is way low, which creates a massive cash flow from making the PITI, which is principal, interest, tax, and insurance, and what the rental market is. So when you subtract the difference, there's going to be a big cushion called cash flow. So I'm willing to buy a property that has negative equity, right? All day, every day. I'm not going to get a loan. I'm not going to put my credit down, right? And all I got to do is just take over the payments. But here's the thing. I'm not buying it for equity, right? I'm buying it for instantly because I'm making $500 a month. I'm making $600 a month. So there's 2 ways to buy real estate at Mr. No Flip. We teach you, okay? Everyone teaches you how to buy it at deep
Alert
discount.
from Get to Know Your Mac.
1 second, guys. All right, so everyone teaches you how to buy at a deep discount, which is great. I love to buy it this way too, but unfortunately, most people in America don't have equity. They're in debt. That's why debt is so high. 7 million people are losing their cars. They're in default, okay? So they don't have equity. Well, I want to buy this. Well, what if I go there and I can't buy it at 60 cents on a dollar, 70 cents on a dollar? But this property gives me $700 monthly cash flow. Well, I have an option at Mr. No Fluff that I want to buy it for their loan balance, right? But it gives me $600 monthly cash flow. I don't care it has $10,000 negative equity. I'm not trying to turn around and fix and flip it. I'm not trying to turn around and wholesale to someone really quick. I'm just trying to buy this property without giving a loan, without putting a large money down. And I'm not buying it in a shitty area, in a war zone area. I'm just getting $600 monthly cash flow. I want to do that all day long. So if you got deals out there that have negative equity, bring them to me, right? I'll be happy to give you some money at finder's fee. If you already have it under contract, I'll give you an assignment fee. Now, do I prefer to go out there and buy negative equity properties? No, dude, no. I want to buy them at 50 cents, 30 cents on the dollar, 60 cents on a dollar. But they're not always like that. It's kind of like saying, hey, you're a baseball player and you go on the bat and you just want to hit fastballs. Well, guess what? Not everyone's going to throw a fastball. Some people will throw a slow ball. Some people will throw a curveball. And if someone knows that you can't hit the curveballs, and they're going to constantly throw that to you. That's how life is. So the best way I describe it is to have two briefcases, right? One is the real estate agent briefcase, and one is the investor briefcase. In each one of these briefcases, there's a bunch of different tools. Same thing with the real estate agent. There's a bunch of different tools. So when you get onto the bat and the ball comes, it doesn't matter if it's a fastball, slow ball, curveball, whatever you want to call it, you have a tool to hit it. And that's the whole game. When I meet a seller through my marketing, it never goes to the trash, because no matter what it is, I can close the deal, even if I don't make any money. Sometimes I don't make money. Sometimes I just refer them out to an agent or to an attorney. I don't make money. But I don't care. If I was worried about just making money, I wouldn't be doing videos for you guys since 2013, right? There's a lot of times I don't make money, but there's something called karma, right? What I put out there, which you sow is what you reap, right? So there's more than money. And that's something I was telling my students this Saturday at our mastermind, that we're doing role play, cold calling, and most of the people that do cold calling, or most people that want to be a real estate investors or real estate agents, they're always thinking about the money, about me. How can I make money? How can I make money? How can I make money? And when you deal with motivated sellers, you gotta die. You have to go away. Again, let me say that again, because when you're dealing with motivated sellers, you're not dealing with numbers. You're not going up there giving offers. Okay, that's how you do it if you're buying a HUD. That's how you do it when you're buying an REO. That's how you do when you're buying a bank-owned property. But when you're dealing with motivated sellers, you're dealing with people's hearts, people's souls, and they can feel it. So what I do is I don't go in there talk about numbers. No. And so I'm putting myself away. Like I said, I provide them 9 to 10 offers, and 3 or 4 of them, I don't even make any money. I just try to solve the people's problems. Right? And that's the way you should go into it, because when you deal with motivated sellers, they're a different breed, a different animal. And if you want to get deals where you're just taking over people's payments, or the seller's becoming your bank, or you've been buying at a deep discount, you got to remember, you're dealing with people. You're not dealing with real estate agents or bankers or machines, right? So it's all about building rapport. It's all about them liking you versus the numbers. Okay. Now, if you want to learn about how to do this more, then you should definitely join my mastermind. Okay. Go to theabundanceclub.mrnofluff.com, or just go to mrnofluff.com. $76 a month will get you 4 meetings a month. It's me and a bunch of other people. We have professionals, real estate agents, brokers. We have investors. We have new investors. We have people that have never done it before. So we have a variety of different type of people, and we're all working to help you be your dreams in this class. It's not pre-recorded, and we're live. We're actually talk just like this. And I think I got some questions coming in. Okay. Okay, someone was asking about my alchemy stones. Okay, yeah, that's still going on March 23rd and March 24th. It's a 2-day course. It's a full automation where it's not for new people. Now, let me take that back. If you have a successful business, like you have a successful restaurant, or you have a successful personal training, you have a successful car dealership, you have a successful construction business, then yes, it's for you. But if you're in the E quadrant and you never had a successful business, you don't have any money, then this is not for you. But if you're a successful real estate agent, broker, investor, or you want to get into this one of these businesses and you already have success in a previous business, then the Alchemy Stones is definitely for you. It's a 2-day course. We go into setting up all these little systems. Basically, thinking about it like this: it's a franchise in a box without the franchise fees. I'm going to set up all the vendors, set up all the systems, how much ketchup to put in, how to flip your burgers, what's the secret sauce. We're going to set all this stuff for you in 2 days, and I'm training you, and then you go on your merry way. My last student, after taking this class, 5 weeks later, made $26,000. Okay, you can read about it on MrNoFluff.com. So what I'm teaching you is something that you're not going to find other places. Okay, I know there's like cookie cutter, funnel makers, but they're not going to give you the secret recipe on how to get traffic. They're not going to give you how to sell through the tunnel. They don't have that. They just have cookie cutter systems. Any IT guy can make you a website, but it's not about that. Okay, anyone can make a burger, but to get a McDonald's, right, it's a different story. And that's what I'm going to give you: franchise in a box without the upfront fees and without the monthly franchise fees. All right, that's called the Alchemy Stones. Let's see if we have any other questions. Okay. Someone asked me to buy Bitcoin or not to buy Bitcoin. That's a good question. Well, I can't give you financial advice, but I've been buying Bitcoin because I wasn't a Bitcoin fan. When I started learning about Bitcoin, I thought it was a scam. I had an opportunity to buy it when it was very, very low, about $100. And I thought, no, this is a scam. And my mind started changing once I saw that it went to 19,000 and then it started crashing. So when it hit 50%, so it went from 19 and it became like 11, that's when I started buying it. Okay. And I've been buying it all the way down. I'm still buying. Okay. Now, right now I'm in negative. I'm not one of those guys that got into Bitcoins when it was $100, right? Because just like many of you guys, I thought Bitcoins was a scam. It's just not going to work. However, after more research, a couple of years of research, watching the market, because one thing about me is when I got into real estate investing, buying houses subject to, I thought it was a scam, just like many of you guys. You think, oh, this is not going to work. No one's going to let me take over their payments. No one's going to give me seller financing. Why would someone give me their social security number before I could take over payments? I didn't think that either. I was not a believer, but I slowly tried to test it because it was the crash. It was 2006, fourth quarter, 2007. And I knew if I didn't get in real estate, I'm going to kill myself because in a sense, because there was so many ways to make money. And same with Bitcoin. Once it was like $19,000 and it crashed to 11,000, I said, you know what? Now it's time to buy. It's 50% off. I start buying from 11 all the way down to 3,500. Okay, I've been buying. So for me, I hope it crashes a little bit more to $1,500 to $1,000 so I could accumulate more, because I bought some at 11,000. I bought some at 7,000. I bought some at 6,000, 5,000. And right now I'm negative. But same thing with the real estate. I'm willing to buy negative equity property, right? Because when I buy, I'm not making money. Like, let's say a house that has negative equity of 10,000. When I buy it, I didn't make any money. But I didn't buy it to make money right there. I bought it because it was going to give me positive cash flow, right? I'll wait 6 to 10 years like the last crash and then sell at the top of the market when it does have a lot of equity, when the assets starts getting bubbly, okay? So right now, I'm willing to buy real estate, not because I think the market's going to go up, because I know the market's going to go down. Okay, unlike everyone else is saying. Everyone was saying to get in real estate 2015, 2013, saying, hey, it's a really good market. I was saying, hey, man, it's getting really bubbly, right? But now, for me, it's a good time to get in real estate because it's going to go down for sure. There's going to be massive motivated sellers. Same thing with Bitcoin. I got into Bitcoin not because it was going up like everyone else did. I got into Bitcoin because it started going down, right? I said, hey, man, well, I missed my opportunity. Right. And I wasn't going to buy when it was 16,000. I wasn't going to buy when it was 15 or 10 because I knew it was too inflated. Right. So I say, you know what? If this thing comes back down, I'm going to buy 50%. Now, why 50? Because in real estate, that's the numbers I do. I like to buy houses 50% on the dollar. Right. So I use real estate numbers. Now, was I right or wrong? Right now, I'm wrong. I'm negative thousands of dollars. Right. A lot of money. Right. But on the other hand, I know in my heart that I made the right move because it's going to free humanity, We're going to get rid of these stinky bankers. We're going to get rid of all this inflation. We're going to have money that's sovereign, that not America, not Canada, not India, not Iran. No one gets to own, right? We're able to transact with people all over the world with the same unit, right? So it's very powerful. And I believe that I'm going to make a lot of money, and that's why I'm buying it. Now, would I recommend that for anybody? No. Get a financial advisor. Sorry, too many rules in America. All right, let's see what else we have. All right, someone else says, all right, Fabio says, hey, the sky is falling, the sky is falling. And that's because he says that we can't continue believing that. Well, the sky is, I'm not telling the sky is falling. I'm just saying there's going to be a big old crash coming. Now, you don't want to believe that because you're believing what the CNN and what the establishment wants you to believe, that they're propping the stock market. But one day when you wake up and your stock is melted, right? Your equities is melted. The pensions that are invested in these things can't pay the school teachers, the firefighters, whatever. When your home equity has, if you own a home, Fabio, has melted, then you're gonna realize, okay? So when everything's going good, the hurt is going all the same. So I don't suspect people to agree with me, right? I mean, like, if I wanted to be like everyone else, I wouldn't have a beard like this because I don't want to be like everyone else. I don't, when everyone goes right, I go left. In 2015, 2016, people said gold, when I bought thousands of dollars in gold, people said gold was a bad idea. I was stupid. Well, 3 years later, gold's up $300 an ounce. When I'm telling people that, hey, the stock market is about to crash, they're printing money, it's crazy, there's derivatives, there's shit people don't understand. People say, hey, man, you're crazy. And I'm okay with that because I am crazy till I'm right, right? And I don't want the stock market to crash, but it's not, I don't control it. The Federal Reserve does, the big corporations do. I don't control it, neither do you. But I can tell you that they're getting all those tax cuts. They're buying their own stocks, right? We're having Christmas Eve, we had 1,000 points almost. And now so we're up and everything's great. We have tariffs. We're on brinks of war. So many crazy things going on that if you watch CNN and NBC, they're not telling you all of it, right? So you have to be smart enough not to believe the propaganda, right? Because it's out there. Now, everyone says great because everyone went to the same schools. They got the same colleges. They believe the same dreams. Let me get into debt. Let me go and get a car in debt. Let me get a house in debt. Let me pay for my school in debt. See, for these type of people that have already been conditioned to this, they're going to argue when you tell them the truth. They're not going to want to believe it. And that's okay with me because of people like this, it's going to create great opportunities for me. So my job is not to be mad at you if you believe that. I'm happy for you. But once you lose your equity, you want to sell your home, please call Mr. No Fluff. Please call Mr. Investor. I'd love to buy your property. And everyone else. Guys, any of you guys have apartment complexes, you have all these houses that you guys bought with home equity loans, with Halo loans. When this market melts, remember Mr. Investor, Mr. No Fluff. Please bring me these deals. I want to buy your deals because everyone told you to refinance. Everyone told you to get a Halo loan. Everyone told you to put it on your credit card. Everyone told you to get into debt, right? And when the shit hits the fan, people in debt are going to be the very first one to choke, right? So bring me those deals. I'll love to buy it, but I respect what you're saying. It seems like you're saying I'm saying fire, but we'll see. Just give it a couple of more months or a year. We'll see what happens. You might be right, or I might be right. All right. Let's see if we have any other comments. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Click the like button. Click the share. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think a crash is coming? I mean, I know that people in France are, 15 weeks marching now. I know people in Great Britain barely can pay their bills. I know that there's massive bubbles in Canada. People are getting taxed 75% of their money. I know in Austria there's bubbles. I know in Italy there's a slowdown. I know there was a bail-in in Greece. They took people's monies. People couldn't take their money out. But what do I know, man? All right. Peace, guys.